Hey guys, you sweating your asses off? Because I know I sure as hell am. And I'm also doing some crocheting while I'm doing it. Listen, I wanted to let you know about this book that I wrote. It's called Reverse Type 2 Diabetes, Surviving After All the Bullshit. All the lies. Because just in case you all don't know, I've been trying to lose weight for a very long time, just like a lot of people have, and I have lost weight. But what I also know is that people don't realize that for decades we have been poisoned. I mean, look at all the preservatives that's on the foods. Look at all the sweet and low, which is aspartame. That causes cancer. It's still out there for people to use. But you know what? It's not in Europe because they won't allow it in Europe. Why is it that, you have certain big cereal brands that they are still selling cereals like, Apple Jacks and Captain Crunch and all of those with the dyes that we're not supposed to have. But then again, you also have Bobby Kennedy Jr., who decided to get rid of all the scientists that basically tells us constantly that, to be careful and not eat all these kind of foods because they do cause cancer. There's a lot of people that have died throughout the years, a lot of family members of yours and mine that have died throughout the years because in reality, no one had really, they didn't have the guts. You know what? I'm going to be 70. Been a nurse for a long time. I'm retired now. Doctors know about this. They've known about it. They'll tell you, hey, lose some weight, get your A1C down, exercise, which is all good stuff, and it's all things that we really should be doing anyway. But guess what? Bran flakes and eating bran flakes. What's that other thing? Salad dressings. They all have hidden sugars in it, and sugar is the culprit. Ladies and gentlemen, sugar is the culprit. Sugar is the problem, okay? And it's been a problem for decades. My book basically explains all the hidden stuff that's out there. And, what bothers me the most, because I used to work in the ER and I, did the last part of my career, I worked in urgent care. Let me tell you something. You have these kids now. 30 years ago, there wasn't gluten-free stuff. They just didn't have that. But now they do, because we need to come up with something in order to, it's like our president, let's deflect what really is the problem. Well, the truth of the matter is that politicians for decades, for years, have been greasing their pockets. They themselves eat the same goddamn crap. They don't have time with all the stuff that's going on. You think they honestly read all the different studies that are out there that'll tell you what you're supposed to have and what you're not supposed to have? No, I don't think so. I mean, I know they have interns that they go and that are attorneys also, and they read stuff, but you know what? Sugar-free, healthy stuff all have hidden sugars in it. Before World War II, people were eating regular foods. You didn't have two income households. It was different. Mom used to stay home or dad used to stay home. Someone stayed home, took care of the kids. They didn't have the problems that they have now. You've got kids that are hanging off the ceilings, okay, because they're getting too much sugar. That's another thing. Look, I was a single mother for a long time, and I didn't have food stamps. But let me tell you something. You cannot buy liquor and you can't buy cigarettes with food stamps. Well, then why is it that we can have sodas, we can have chips, we can have all the shit that we're not supposed to have with food stamps? Well, then why don't they just put that as an illegal thing that you can't do and just have regular foods? You watch how these children will not have to take all the Ritalin and all the other medications that they're giving them, because guess what? It's this is our generation. This is a generation that we need that's going to be taking care of our country, that's going to be making decisions for us when we get older. Some of these children, I don't know how they're going to make it. But then again, there are parents that let me tell you something, they should be nominated for sainthood, because you've got some parents that are just wonderful, watching over their kids, watching everybody else's kids, and they're doing a great job. And then you have mothers that they just cannot seem to get their freaking face out of the telephone. And these children are raising themselves, and they can't do that. All I can tell you is that we have to find a better way. And a lot of people, why so many diabetics? Well, there's so many diabetics because we got freaking hidden sugars all over the place. Yes, we need to exercise. There's no reason why we can't walk. There's no reason why we can't lay in our beds and lift our legs up and swing them one side, one to the other. That's part of exercising. Not everybody can do yoga. They can't. But you got to try. Soda is nothing. You want some flavor? Get water, get some strawberries, get some cucumbers, get some lemons, whatever. Put it in there and drink it. Don't put any sugar in it. Sugar is what's killing us. And that's basically what I have written in my book, because people are just freaking afraid to say it. Well, I'm not. You need to stop. You need to change. You can't be doing the same shit and expect something different to come along. It's not going to work. But the fact of the matter is that people are not understanding that these children are suffering because we're making them suffer. And we're the ones that are putting the food right in front of them. They don't need Pop-Tarts. Let me tell you something. If there's quite a few women on YouTube that have like 4 and 5 kids, and they're working because they're making videos. If you can do the same thing, why not? But the fact of the matter is that you have to raise your children or give your children good food, because that's what really is what we need, is good food. There's always, everybody says, the old always comes back. Yeah, it does. And having good food, nutritious foods, if you have a little piece of land, if you have a balcony, get a tomato plant, get zucchini or whatever, and put it out there and just eat it, enjoy it. Show your kids that you can do things on your own. Don't do things for them all the time. They need to learn. But I have to say, and the reason why I'm hyping on the kids is because, let me tell you, I went to Walmart yesterday, and there was this boy. I mean, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Just, acting like God knows what. I'm sure he's on medication. I'm sure he's, let me tell you, it's just not the thing to do. It's sad. It's sad to see these poor children who depend on us to help them, who depend on their parents. And sometimes, as a person who, I would love to be able to say, hon, please. But then when I looked at the cart, well, Pop-Tarts, you got Pop-Tarts, you got yogurt that got all kind of sugar in it, there's a lot of yogurts you can make at home. There's a lot of fruits that you can make on your own. There's a lot of things that you can do on your own. You don't have to sacrifice a lot of money for it. But all I know is that my book is on Amazon. Pick it up, take a look at it. You'll laugh because there's a lot of funny stuff in it. But I'm telling you the truth. I don't give a crap anymore. I just say it like it is. People need to understand these corporations have been screwing us for years. We pay the doctor, we pay for our co-pays, we pay for our insurance. When we go to the hospital, we have to pay for that too. So we're paying no matter what up the wazoo. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit. But you need to give a crap, especially for yourself and your family. Have a good day now. Bye.